What's up, YouTube? Paul Clarke here. This is my tournament report for the YCS that was held this past weekend in Austin, Texas. Didn't do too well. I was very confident in the deck I ran. Um, if I had tested, a different deck at the start of the format, maybe I would be running something different. But I was running this the whole, you know, the whole March, pretty much. I've been running it since the start of the format, and it just was testing well, so I decided to bring it there. I'm sure some of you have seen some of the articles and videos I've wrote about the deck. Um, so yeah, I like the deck, but maybe I wasn't too happy with my choice at the end of the day. So round one, I got paired up against Mirror Match, Dino Rabbit Mirror Match. He was not running Macrocosmos, so automatically he has a better matchup. He's also running cards like Tragodia and Pot of Avarice, which are insane in the mirror match. Um, so, yeah, I did bring it to game 3, but I actually decked out game 2. It was pretty intense. In game 3, he kind of just had the whole combos going on. The Tragodias he was running definitely put in some work. Round 2, I got paired up against, I really don't remember at the moment. I believe it was a Clarke deck. Yeah. He beat me game 1, and then I just had better cards game 2 and 3. That can be complicated matchup because they have Machina fortresses in their deck, and that's 2,500, and it can be a nuisance to get rid of if you don't have your Deep Prisons or Mirror Force. I definitely don't remember round 3. I remember I won. I was 2-1 at that point. And then round 4, I was paired up against an opponent who I believe was new to the game, simply because of the fact that he didn't have a side deck. It was another Machina deck, except this time it was Gadget Machina. He only had a 6-card extra deck as well, so no Gigants or anything, no Gear Gigants. And he beat me game 1 with a Machina Fortress. It was just too big. It was equipped with the Machina Gear Frame, and when that happens, there's not much you can do to answer the Fortress. So that was kind of scary. I'm thinking to myself, wow, am I really going to lose to someone who's new to the game without a side deck? I know there can be some luck in the game, but I was definitely a bit depressed at that point. I also had a cold this weekend, so it wasn't the best weekend for me overall. Then game 2, I managed to beat him with a Lagia backed up with 4 back rows. That's pretty good early game. And then game 2, he started off with a Fortress equipped with the Gear Frame again, turn 1, that backed up with 2 traps. And I opened like double Snowman Eater, a couple normals, and like 1 Torrential Tribute and I literally could not do anything. He just kept poking with it. I drew no answers to it, and he beat me. So I lost to someone with a 6-card extra, no side deck, fairly new to the game, you could tell. And I dropped. Maybe I would have stuck in it if I was feeling better, but like I said, I had a cold this weekend. I actually got everyone in my room I stayed with on Thursday sick. Sorry guys for that. But yeah, I had a great time, aside from the fact that, I dropped really early. It doesn't usually happen. So let's just get into the deck profile. I've done a Rabbit deck profile on this channel before, and it was the same main deck, card for card. I really like my main deck. The night before the event, I was thinking of 1 change and 1 change only. The deck is 41, so I was contemplating cutting up 1 Pot of Duality to possibly make it 40. But then again, I was also thinking about replacing it with a monster. I wasn't too confident with my 15-card monster count. It did give me some awkward hands every once in a while. But I feel like Duality helped me get to what I needed, so I decided at the end of the day to just stick with the build I had. I really liked it. And yeah, so it was the 15 monsters, the 11 spells, and the 15 traps. And yeah, so that's the main deck. Really liked it. I'm sorry, I really can't remember my round 3 matchup for some reason. Here's the extra deck. Zemane, Stem Tempo, Levier, Leviathan, Asagolem, Cowboy, Dweller, Maestro, Black Ship, Dolka. So yeah, Dolka, Lagia, Utopia, and Stardust. And now to the side deck. I'm just going to show you my cool Pokemon cards. I have a whole bunch of tokens, whatever. So I got the one Dyna. I was initially running 3 Banisher, but over time I was just testing worse and worse, kinda. They just always seemed to have an answer when I had a small amount of traps to answer their answer. So I decided to cut one of the Banishers for Macrocosmos in my side deck. I was never initially siding the Macro. And then I added in Dyna, because Dyna is also very good against Monomermill. It's not the best against water that runs Undyne, but against Monomermill, they really don't have a lot of outs. They can't steer it, they can't diva it. You know, all the answers to this are not really answers to this. So if you have both of these out, I'm not saying you need both, but that's like game right there. Then Snowman, just good against like Rabbit, Windup. I'm citing 3 mostly. I really only wanted to side 2, but the theory was, you know, I'm siding out 3 Guibas against all the decks that have big attacking monsters like Fire Fist and Dino Rabbit. So against those decks, I'm gonna want a replacement because I'm running 15 monsters. So if you minus the 3 Guibas, that makes my deck 12 cards in the monster zone, in the monster area, whatever you want to call it. So I needed something to replace with Guibas when I sided them out, and Snowman was just the go-to card. So I decided just to side 3. Next up, a single Soul Taker, just to answer annoying cards, I guess. Then the macro for the waters, obviously. Next up is Breakthrough Skill, a very amazing card in the mirror match. So for those of you that don't know why this is good in the mirror match, let me explain to you. First of all, on your opponent's turn, you have this set. You can use it on their Rescue Rabbit, and if they remove it, it won't resolve. It won't get you the 2 normals. Also, if they attack with Lagia or something, you can like Mirror Force and then Breakthrough Skill their Lagia when they negate, and it won't. And Mirror Force will destroy it still. Also, when this is in your graveyard on your turn, say you summon a tour guide and they Lagia it or they Dolka it, you can chain the Breakthrough in your graveyard to negate the Lagia or Dolka. So that's really cool. It's a very good card, specifically for Mirror. But I thought since the mirror is so dumb, I should definitely designate a card toward it. And it's not like I'm not going to be siding it in versus other matchups. If I see a deck with a lot of heavy effect monsters involved, I might side that in as well. And you got Mirror Force. I side it in almost every game, to be honest. I just really like removal. I couldn't fit in the main deck. I'm just not a fan of 42 or above, as silly as that sounds. So I stuck it in the side deck. 2 Compulse. Windup is a real deck, and without Compulse, it can be a pretty tough matchup. I feel that you need that in that matchup, so there you go. I sided it. It's also very good against Dino Rabbit and other Exceed-based decks like Hieratic and stuff. Definitely put in work for the few games that I played. And then finally, the 2 Destornados. I really like Destornado. Super good card. I sided in against almost everything as well. I sided against Windups, Water, Fire Fist, just everything. Every real deck I sided in against. Anything that's going to side and go as a match, I'll side it in against. So yeah, that's the deck. In retrospect, I definitely wouldn't have ran Dino Rabbit. I know I really like the deck, but the only reason I really liked the deck was because I was having good success with it at my locals and at regionals and stuff. But had I tested a different deck from day one, I definitely would have decided to. Sorry, I got a text. I definitely would have decided to run a different deck. I'd probably Even though I really despise water, I would probably still run it, simply because of the fact that, you know what, maybe the reason I didn't like it was I just didn't know how to use it. I'm gonna give water one more chance before I say it's an annoying deck, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm just gonna go through my water deck real quick, and we'll see how it evolves, I guess. So I'm not really gonna explain anything. I'm just gonna show you a quick water deck. It's pretty simple. I don't have too much tech in here, but I thought I'd just show you while I had it built. Alright, so that's 26 monsters, whole bunch of mermaids, whole bunch Atlanteans, and the 3 divas. Excuse me, I'm still a bit sick from the YCS. Spells, you got 2 MST, Avarice, Reborn, Dark Hole, Storm. I believe that's like 7. And then traps, 3 Sphere, 2 Chain, 2 Dust, 1 Squall. I really like Dust in any deck that can afford to run it. Don't really like it in Dino Rev because you're already running Volances, so it kind of gets a bit cloggy with the 3 MST, 3 Lance, 2 Dust or 1 Dust. So yeah, this is the build. I believe that's what, 8 traps. So hope you guys enjoyed my tournament report. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more ARG videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.